Hello, fellow risk takers, and welcome to my worst investment ever. Stories of loss to keep you winning. In our community, we know that to win in investing, you must take risk. But to win big, you've got to reduce it. My name is Andrew Stotts from A Stotts Investment Research, and today I am here with David Ying, who will be telling us about his worst investment ever. Thank you so much for being on the show, David. Welcome.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm David Ying from Taipei.
Great. Fantastic. And you and I had a nice little chat before this. One of the things I'll tell the audience is David is a good friend of mine. We've shared a lot when it comes to CFA and investing and just life in general. Let me give a little background to our listeners about David. David Ying is a senior consultant at the Systex Corporation in Taipei, and he's been there since 2012. David holds a bachelor's degree in economics from National Taiwan University, along with an MBA degree and an Executive MBA degree in business administration. In 1982, David started his career as a banking officer at Continental Illinois National Bank, located in Taipei City, where he was promoted to loan officer. And David and I know, being a loan officer, that's how you really learn about financial statements. Now, he has more than 35 years of experience working for a dozen companies, including 5 years at International Investment Trust Company Limited in Taiwan, 4 years at Dow Jones Telerate, and the last 20 years has been at various positions at Systex Corporation. David, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just about everything you say, and that was my resume.
Fantastic. All right. So now, before sharing your story, can you tell us your level of investing experience and what type of investment story you're going to be talking about?
Okay. Currently, my investment pretty much half of my assets in the real estate. You know, the Chinese love real estate. And half of my investment are today is pretty much risk-free. I invest in treasury bills and in very, very short-term assets. So I'm risk-averse. Actually, for my age, I'm not likely to invest in very risky assets anymore because my bad experience about 20 years ago investing in risky assets. So it really scared me.
Got it.
Yeah, so this is I changed my investment habit since then.
That leads us into really the next part of this, and that is, can you set the stage for our listeners? Describe the circumstances leading up to this worst investment.
Okay.
What was your age? What were you doing? What was your experience?
I'm almost 60 years old, so I'm pretty old. So, yeah. So if everybody still remember, during the financial crisis, this is not a 2008 financial crisis. This is 1997 Asian financial crisis. Okay, I have gone through all the Asian financial crisis. So I was the banking officer, so I'm pretty conservative for the financial statement and for the business as well, because we make loan to those companies, so we are very conservative for loan making. But until almost end of 20th century, which is 1998 and 1999, if everybody knows, there is a DotCom, fanatic about DotCom, internet.com. So everybody want to invest in internet. Now, of course, in Taiwan, everybody crazy about investing, creating their own business, internet, because they think internet can do almost everything. So yeah,
I remember that time.
Myself invested a lot of money in a startup company. So although I was a very conservative banker, but still I'm crazy about investing in the startup company because yes, we want to be rich and famous, right? So it was very, very painful experience for me. So that was my the worst investment in my life.
So tell us a little bit more about, that set the stage for kind of where you were at and what the environment was like. What was it that got you into it? Why did you trust the people that you trusted? Why did you think it was going to be a good investment? And then what went wrong?
Well, no, because investment is pretty much at that time, I think everybody does, is driven by your behavior, right? Because driven by the environment. So people around you, lots of people around you said, yeah, I make a lot of money because I invest in internet, or we want to invest in a startup company. Maybe at that time, maybe Yahoo is going to buy us. So everybody has a very, very big dream. So at that time, it's become a fad to invest in everything, which is called internet, everything is connected to internet, it make a billion. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's very difficult to explain.
And the company that you invested in was a traditional business, or it was a startup with a .com at the end of it? Was it a bricks and mortar, or was it, hey, we've got a website and we're going to make money from this website?
Yeah, actually, you are right. It's not brick and mortar. It's a website. It's a small company. It's a startup and internet. So I still remember the company we invested want to make to change cosmetic of the people looks, so we can sell costume, we can sell clothes, dresses, so you can change everything. But today it really happened. But maybe at that time, skill set or technology or infrastructure is not available. Today, everything's possible. So it really amazing. From the .com period today, almost 20 years, you see a lot of changes.
It's interesting because during that time, it was all dreams. But in reality, a lot of those ideas ended up working. They just didn't work for the companies that started those ideas. It ended up working for Amazon and others.
Yeah, remember Amazon or Yahoo or even Facebook, that was in the U.S. because U.S. has a huge domestic market, just like 10 years ago in China. So in Taiwan, it's very, very difficult because the local market is very, very small. So today, not until today, I realized the internet startup can only happen in a big continent, such as USA or in China. Even in the Euro, it's very difficult because in Europe there are many countries. They have different legislation or different taxation. Different people. They have a different culture. It's very difficult. So, to my understanding, the internet will be very successful. Still will be successful in China. But today, people don't talk about internet anymore because internet become very, very old-fashioned.
So let's wrap it up for this story. But let me ask you a question. The amount of money that you invested was what percent of the amount of wealth that you had at the time? Was it 10% of the money you had? Was it 50%? Was it 90%? How big of an investment was this relative to the money that you had?
Okay, the money I invested at that time, about 20 years ago, is about my annual salary at that time. It's about annual salary. So
right. Okay. Yeah. So it's big. That's big when you're earning a salary and you're investing in something that's the size of your annual salary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So let me summarize what I hear from your story. And I definitely remember not only the 1997 crisis, but I also remember the .com period. And the first thing that I take away from your story is what we now call these days FOMO, the fear of missing out. You hear your friends talking about, everybody's talking about their winners. Yeah. And you're thinking, I'm missing out. I've got to do something. I've got to get invested. So that's a lesson. That's the issue number one. The issue number two is that, hey, it was a time of big dreams. It was a time of a big fad. And the fact is that as you get older, you recognize big dreams and big fad periods, probably much better than when you're younger. So I think the lesson from that for me is watch out for fear of missing out and watch out for big dreams and big fad times, because those big dreams and big fads won't last forever. Is there anything else you'd add to that?
Yeah, just like to become a superstar. Just like people say, "Wow, if you can be a superstar, just like being hit by the light, right?" It's very, very difficult. Not many people like Jack Ma or Joseph Joseph Tsai. I think they are incredible. Just one out of a million or one out of 10 million people they can make money. Like. I have a very great story about Jack Ma. In 2000, Jack Ma come to Taiwan. Nobody really listened to him, right? Because this crip, it's a joke. So he raised zero money from Taiwan. So at that time, people really doesn't know. Still, Jack Ma said, "I don't understand the business myself," and his business being changed quite a lot since then. So sure. It's very, very difficult.
Very true. Well, all right. Well, then let's wrap it up. There you have it, fellow risk takers. Another painful story of loss to keep you winning. To find all previous episodes and resources to help you reduce your risk, visit myworstinvestmentever.com. And once there, don't forget to download our free book on investing stories. David, thanks again for coming on the show. And yes, it is painful to talk about our losers, but I know our listeners will learn to win as a result. Thank you, David.
Thank you, everybody. I hope my bad experience you can learn. Make sure you are smart enough not to invest things you don't understand.